I remember when I was in high school and I would be like in class doing a test or doing work or turning homework in, and I would always notice there was that one really smart kid, or I thought he was really smart, and he would always be doing really good on the test. He had straight A's. He was going to all these different things, all these different classes. He was doing all these extra things, and at the time I couldn't help but think, he's just genetically lucky. He's just smart naturally. He doesn't put in any extra work. It's just he was born with being smart. And I always thought that those people were just lucky somehow, that they didn't do any extra work than I did, because I was always a hard worker apparently, and that, you know, they were just lucky to be blessed with genetics or something like that. That's what I always thought. But I didn't have the humility to admit that they were better than me, that they worked harder than me in school. But the thing was, I just said that they were better than me. But the truth is, they're not any better than me or you. Those people are literally not any better than me or you. The only thing that they're better at is working harder than you. And I didn't have the humility to admit this when I was in high school. Those kids that were doing really well in high school, I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be doing well in high school. I wanted to be doing all these extra things. But I just thought they were lucky. And so that caused me to not even try, right? I'm like, okay, they're lucky. And that gave me kind of like an excuse. Okay, there's no matter what I do, I'm not going to be smart. I'm not going to be able to do well in school, right? That was like my mentality. And it's such a bad mentality, bro. I'll tell you this right now. It's such a horrible mentality to have when it comes to school and when it comes to learning new things, bro. And a lot of people will have this kind of dismissive mentality. I used to have it. And it literally stopped me from trying any harder than I did in school. And it wasn't until like my senior year that I actually started developing a growth mindset, where if I actually put the work in, then I'd actually be able to achieve success. Like, I don't know why it took me so long to realize that, but if you put the work in and come every single day improving, just a little bit of improvement every single day, you'll be able to get the results. And I always kind of thought, oh, they're way too far ahead of me. I'm not ever going to be able to catch up, because they would be like these really smart kids, as I was saying, and they'd be like, I'd be here and they'd be way up here in when it comes to organization and everything. And I'd be like, they're just born like that. They never had to work hard for that. And I didn't have the mentality or the humility to admit that they're actually putting a lot of work in. They're actually doing a lot of things to achieve that. They're actually going to all these extra schools. They're doing all this tutoring. They're doing all this extra studying that I never did. And that's what's getting them the results. It's not they're actually much smarter than me naturally. It's none of that. It's they're just willing to put in the extra work, and I wasn't. And I didn't want to admit that to myself, and so I'd use that they're smarter naturally as an excuse not to do any extra work. But the truth is, you can be like that. I can be like that. Literally anyone can be like that if they put the work in. If they come to school every single day and take advantage of all the moments that they can, they will see that success. And you don't even have to be perfect to do this. You don't even have to be perfect. There's some kids that you'll actually see that don't do any work, and they still get straight A's and they ace the tests and everything. And those are the truly like gifted people, right? But the thing is, us, people more like me, people that weren't born with those natural gifts, those people lack doing good hard work. And so that's our advantage. If we're aware of this, we can take advantage of working hard. We can take advantage of outworking everybody when it comes to school and studying. And the thing is, you have to change that mindset in your mind that, oh, they're better than me, might as well not try. If you're having trouble in school right now, that's your responsibility. If you're having trouble in work right now, that's your responsibility. You have to own the fact that you're not doing as good as you could. You have to own that you're not studying too much extra. Or like me, I wasn't studying at all extra, bro. I didn't even study for a single test like until my senior year in high school. You have to own that if you put the work in, if you work as hard as that person, over time, you'll be as good at learning, if not better at learning than that person. Because here's the thing, you're gonna try, like, I would get like this motivational like sprout, right? I would get this motivational moment when I was in school. I'd be like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. And I'd think that for like a week. And I'd study hard actually for like a week or a few days. And then I'd do bad on a test and I'd be like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I didn't do that good on the test. No matter how much I study, it doesn't matter. That's kind of what I was thinking. But the truth is, if I'd used that to learn from it, and I had learned, okay, maybe I wasn't studying effectively. Maybe it was this that was the problem. Maybe it was that was the problem. Maybe it was the way that I was studying that was the problem. If I'd looked at it in that perspective, then I would have seen growth. Then I would have been able to find all the things that I was doing wrong, because I developed so many bad habits at that point. I'd still have like my phone on the desk when I would study. I would still be doing all these, like, I'd be distracted. I'd only study for like 15 minutes and then I'd go to distract myself with something, and then I'd come back and then I'd keep my phone and I'd get notifications on my phone and I'd be just distracted, right? I just had bad study habits, and even though I actually did better on that test than I would normally, I just failed to see the results. I failed to see the long-term gain, right? I still passed the test, but it wasn't like I put in all that work and I was expecting it to get an A, but I got like a C+ or a B. The thing is, normally I would get like a D. So the fact that I saw progress was incredible, and I just didn't think it was making a difference, but there was a huge difference there, a whole letter grade and a half difference. The thing was, I was like, oh, I put all that work, I didn't get an A, gotta quit. Like, such a horrible mentality to have. It's like, okay, C+, next time I'm getting a B. And I study, and I improve my studying habits, and I put in the extra work. The reason that you aren't doing well in school, as well as that other person, isn't because he's smarter than you. It's because he's working harder than you. It's because he has been working when you have been slacking. That's the reason. So don't let it be that he's smarter than you. And if he is smarter than you, you can change your IQ. Like, literally, studies have shown that you can change your IQ. IQ isn't something that stays. It's not a fixed thing. IQ changes. And so the more, and the brain is malleable too. The brain changes over time, and studies show that it's at most when you're a child, but this brain still changes as you're a teenager, as you're an adult. And while you're still young, right, in your 20s, 30s, it still changes a lot. Like, you can change your brain a lot. And so don't think that IQ is stationary, first off. Don't think that, oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm not smart. Think that I'm not as smart as I want to be yet. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm going to get there. You know why? Because I'm going to put the work in, and I'm not going to quit. Because it's very easy to say those things, right? It's very easy for me to say, I'm going to put in all this work, I'm going to try hard, and then I go for like a week, I don't see the results, and then I quit. But it's a constantly evolving process. If you can just get a little bit of improvement every single week for the rest of your life, it will literally change the entirety of your life, bro. The entirety of your life. So, work harder, study harder, keep improving, and keep going at it. Don't quit. Don't be outworked by those other people. Work harder. That's the reason. That's the key. Make sure you go down right now and subscribe to my channel. My name's Justin, and remember, you deserve the consequences of your actions.